Today we will take a look at model-based definition inside of Solid Edge 2021. You'll see how easy it is to create product manufacturing information within Solid Edge and easily publish that out to a PDF document or HTML style document that can be consumed by others in your company or outside your company. Alright, let's take a look at some PMI, product manufacturing information. We have it here in the assembly environment, and also if you edit into, maybe I'll open this part standalone. We also have a PMI tab here as well. So we have a number of PMI dimensions here. So if you've worked with Synchronous, you might remember that dimensions that you put directly on the model actually become PMI dimensions naturally. In an ordered model, they can be migrated from the profile of the feature to PMI dimensions, and that's a really cool thing. So we have a couple of model views. Model views are analogous to drawing views. So you can right click and apply a view. Here's an isometric. So a couple of things notable. We have a feature control frame, and if we touch it, you'll see that all the datums highlight. That's because there's associativity. When the datum was created, they used this reference text, and now that's in drafting, and it's also supported in part modeling. So essentially it offers you all the other annotations that are in the drawing that would make sense for a feature control frame. And the bonus is, besides the fact that it sees all the associativity, if you ever make a change to one of these annotations, it's reflected in the feature control frame immediately. You might have noticed that change to a D. So you don't have to remember to go and update, and you don't have to take the extra time to go. So it's much better than manually typing in these datums into a datum control frame. So that's one thing. I'll go here and hide my PMIs. There's a really nice capability where if you touch a face, and you would just naturally notice this, I think, working in Synchronous, it exposes any dimensions that are attached to that face, which is great. But what you can do is also you can right click on one of these dimensions once you see it, and you can add it to a model view. So that's very convenient, or you can remove it from a model view. So you don't actually have to go find it here if it's not displayed. That's just a natural behavior of the synchronous modeling. One thing I noticed right off the bat is that these are just cylindrical cuts. They're not actual holes, which isn't probably the way I would do it. I like to have real holes with real data. Let's say I need to put a chamfer on there. I'm going to go up here and recognize holes, and I see that these three are found, and I'm going to turn those into a countersunk hole here. I'm going to use a 90 just as an example, with a 15 millimeter diameter for those dowel pins. Probably could do a chamfer too, but I'll just hit OK. So now when I go ahead and use Smart Dimension with the call out type, it's going to actually give me my feature call out as a PMI. So that's really pretty handy. I'll get square to this view. So to make a model view, it's super easy. PMI, you choose New View, and I'll call this pinholes. That looks pretty good. So it's going to capture the view and whatever PMIs are displayed at that point in time. So now, if I go ahead and look at my model views, I'll have one for pinholes. So if I apply my isometric, it takes me there, and if I apply my pinholes, it takes me there. So super easy. And remember, you can just touch a face. If I want to include this, I just add to model view, pick the pinholes, and it's added to it. I'm going to turn it on. This is a little ugly, so I'm going to move it. Maybe I'll put it down here. So now that will be part of the model view. And if I apply the view and apply the view, you can see it's just that easy. So that's the first demonstration, a little taste. We'll talk about publishing and the template editor in the next movie. So let's continue with PMI. I thought it would be fun to maybe create some setup instructions for manufacturing. So this is a demonstration that you'll see more in the segments to come. It's a little part from one of our demonstration sets. We have a fixture plate and some clamps, obviously. Now I've done a little work here. I've gone ahead and made 3 model views, and if I right click and check out this review mode, this allows you to cycle through. Now if you rotate a little bit, I made a section that's also applied to that, and then the section gets turned off. So this might be for inspection purposes, so the operator of the machine knows to inspect all the dimensions that have the circle around them, possibly. And here's a full view of the setup with a call out created. So really great capability. And what is kind of nice is if you start Solid Edge in the viewer mode, which does not consume a license, you can look at all these model views in this with this review mode and take measurements. So it's a very nice capability. But of course you can publish a PDF. This is going to be a little nice. Using the viewer is going to be really nice fidelity, because after all it is Solid Edge, and the measuring tools are top quality, and PDF is widely accepted, so that's a great option as well, and we'll talk about that. Let's maybe add a feature control frame here. It was one thing I kind of wanted to show you. I've gone ahead and done this before, so it's true position, 10 thou, maximum material, referencing the datum B. So I use that reference text that we talked about earlier, so that it will always track that. So I'll go ahead and hit OK. And I think I'm going to turn the fixture bed right off and just grab that hole and place it. So super easy, but there's a little extra button on the command bar, reference geometry, so we can add the actual cylinders that it's referring to, so that when you click on it, it highlights them, so there's no confusion about which characteristics on the part it's referring to. So I really like that capability. So let's look at publishing. So there are delivered templates, and I've opened them up so they're in my history. So here's one that's delivered called Assembly Landscape. And it's kind of nice to open one that's done first. So we see we have basically a call out, or it's actually a text box, I believe. It looks like a call out, and it just has file name in it, so that's easy to use. So that's going to pick up the name of the PDF document. This is a navigation view carousel, and this is where your 3D model shows up. There's a BOM table, and if we look at sheet 2, there's actually some editable areas, so the end user can type in text and then save that PDF. So it would be very useful for gathering inspection reports or documenting issues that happened on the floor in the manufacturing process. So that's one of the templates, and I've done one myself. It's actually pretty easy. You just poke the template editor and it takes you into a drafting mode. You simply select your sheet size that you want to work with, and then on the Home tab you'll have objects in the template layout. So you have callouts and text, so the 3D view, you've got your carousel, the BOM table, the PDF text is the editable area. So it's super easy to use, so you can just play with it and save it and publish it and see how it looks. So I'll show you one that I did. I spent a little bit of time with, just maybe 5 minutes. So there's my machining instructions. I put some general notes here. You could have multiple pages, of course, a little call out, and I've got a nice large 3D view and my carousel for navigation. So let's see how this looks if we publish out. So we'll publish the PDF. This is the whatever you want to see initially on the first page. I like the maybe I want to see the all. We don't need HTML, though you could. I like these navigation buttons. You could include a JT file, which would be really nice if you were handing this PDF off to a STEP or a JT. If you were handing this off to an outside vendor that was going to machine this, it would be really nice because they would have the geometry right inside the file. And most of this is all self-explanatory, so we'll use, let's browse to the delivered template, and that's the assembly landscape, and we'll just publish. We'll see how this looks. Happens pretty quickly. Should load my PDF right up when it's done publishing it. Loads it right up in Acrobat. So there you go. You've got your navigation carousel. You got some notes. Page 2, we have our editable area. So as I said, the end user could put information in there. So that's the default template. And if we publish out with my custom machining instructions, these are just simply placed in the template folder. That's all you have to do when you make your template. And we'll publish that. I think I want this to be all. I want the all model view to be the default, and we'll publish and overwrite it. And it shouldn't take too long. Once again, opens right up in Acrobat, and you can cycle through. They provide these default views as well. There's an isometric, dimetric. The viewer in Acrobat has a lot of capabilities itself, like lighting and shading and things like that. So you can use those as well as the control here. So this would be very useful to help people with their setups and possibly their inspection of the components. So there you go. Model-based definition in Solid Edge 2021. You can transfer PMI data from Solid Edge models It will happen through a PLM-XML adapter if you just simply open a Solid Edge file directly. And there are some settings that will impact that as well. So you can see they all come in and they'll be collected in the PMI collector. And you can also open a JT document. A JT document is a neutral format that can contain also other information besides just the geometry, and you'll see there's some options there for importing, nothing too unusual, and we'll just go ahead and open. And even though they don't display initially, they are also here in the PMI collector, and they're gathered into the model views, almost the same as Solid Edge model views. So if we double click the isometric, there's the PMI that we had in Solid Edge. Here's our top view. And so very, very similar, very good interoperability between Solid Edge Cam Pro and Solid Edge itself. So thank you for watching today. You saw the ease of use of Solid Edge 2021 and model-based definition, creating PMI, product manufacturing information, and publishing that information out. So thank you for attending today.